Back to business, our Father's business, my Father's business. This is 40 days and 40 nights, part 11, day 13. We got 28 days left. Let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to start with the scriptures, Colossians 3:14. Colossians 3:14. Colossians 3:14, and it says, "And above all things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness." It's your job to protect the unity of your church. God deeply desires that we experience oneness and harmony with each other. Unity is the soul of fellowship. Just like every parent, our Father enjoys watching his children get along with each other. Nothing on earth is more valuable to God than his church. He paid the highest price for it, and he wants to protect it, especially from damage of division, conflict, and disharmony. Ephesians 4:3. How are we to do this? Focus on what we have in common, not our differences. As believers, we share one Lord, one body, one purpose, one Father, one Spirit, one hope, one faith, one baptism, and one love. Romans 10:12. Let's go ahead and look that one up. Romans 10:12. Acts, then Romans 10:12. And it says, "For there is no difference between the Jew and the Greek, for the same Lord over all is rich unto all that call upon him." Let me emphasize that. So, there is no difference between Jew and the Greek. We share the same salvation, same life, same future. Facts far more important than any differences. For unity's sake, we must never let differences divide us. Yet, we must passionately love the church in spite of its imperfections. Other believers will disappoint you and let you down, but that's no excuse to stop fellowshipping with them. They are your family even when they don't act like it, and you can't just walk out on them. Conflict, hurt, hypocrisy, neglect, pettiness, and other sins. Don't be shocked or surprised. We must remember that the church is made up of real sinners, including ourselves. We hurt each other intentionally sometimes. Divorce in the church is a sign of immaturity. God has things he wants to teach you and others too. There is no perfect church. Every one of them has its own set of weaknesses and problems. The sooner we give up the mindset that a church must be perfect in order to love it, the sooner we quit pretending and start admitting that we're imperfect and all need grace. This is a place only for those who admit they are sinners, need grace, and want to grow. Choose to encourage rather than criticize. God warns us over and over not to criticize, compare, or judge each other. When you criticize what other believers is doing in faith and from sincere conviction, you're interfering with God's business. Romans 14, verse 4 and 10. When you judge other believers, 4 things instantly happen. Lose fellowship with God. Expose your own pride and insecurity. Set yourself up to be judged by God, and we harm the fellowship of the church. The Bible calls Satan the accuser of both. Revelation 12:10. Let's go ahead and look that scripture up. Revelation 12:10. And it says, "And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brother is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night." Satan. Accuse, accuse, accuse. Day and night. Us. It's the devil's job to blame, complain, and criticize members of God's family. Anytime we spend comparing or criticizing other believers, it's time that should have been spent building and uniting the fellowship. Romans 14:19. Refuse to listen to gossip. Gossip is passing on information when you are neither part of the problem nor part of the solution. Listening to gossip is like accepting stolen property, and it makes you just as guilty of the crime. When someone starts to gossip, say, please stop, I don't need to know this. People who gossip to you will also gossip about you. They cannot be trusted. It's said that in God's flock, the most wounds usually come from other sheep, not wolves. Confronting private is the first step. Take it ASAP. Next step is to take 1 or 2 witnesses to help confirm the problem and recounsel the relationship. What should you do if the person is still stuck? Jesus said, take it to the church. If the person still refuses to listen after that, you should treat that person like an unbeliever.